Stampin' Up, and I'm here to bring you my Tuesday video, and today it's going to be a Halloween card. I don't know why I'm so obsessed with Halloween cards this year, but I am. And this one, hopefully it's going to be my last one because I want to get into some of the other newer stuff. But it was cute, and I just thought it would be fun to do. And it's actually going to showcase the sweet jar punch, and that. So it's just a little bit different, but a little bit cute. Um, don't forget our last chance sale ends Sunday. Our new catalog will be out. New online exclusives will be out Tuesday. So there's going to be a lot going on, and I hope you enjoy the new catalog. If you don't have one, would like one, please let me know. I'd be glad to send it to you. And if you don't have a demonstrator, I'd love to be that demonstrator too. So, just let me know about that. I'm not going to go into a lot, but I do enjoy growing my business. I do enjoy growing my team. And the only way I can do that is to ask if anybody would like to do that with me. So, with that being said, my email and that is in the description below, and you can always get a hold of me for that or anything else that you would like. So, I am going to turn the camera down and I'm going to show you my cards. I do have a PDF that is on my Facebook group, Stamp Crazy VIP. You can go join the group, go to the file section. All of my PDFs are there for my cards from the last 5 years. So, you got plenty to choose from. So with all that, let's turn the camera down. You will see my kitty. She is sleeping right now, and let's hope she stays that way because she just needs to sleep. So let's turn the camera. Well, I hit that button twice. I don't know why I do that. See? There we go. Now we're done. So let's go down. We're going to bring it in so it be just a little bit closer for you to see. And this is my card. We're going to be doing an orange one. I did the more lavender one I did this morning on my Facebook Live. So I am pulling this up so I'll be able to watch this video with you, see if anybody wants to put anything into the chat and tell me, hey, you're here. But anyway, we're going to do the exact same card I did this morning. It's very easy. It takes a lot of die cuts. That's what I used mostly on here. And it is out of the stylish shape. I used this fattest banner with this. It's the short fat banner and then the long skinny banner. I used those two together. And out of this set, I used the spider webs, I used the eek, I used the spider, and then I used the jar punch, and I'll show you that because we will be punching out a jar. I'm going to see what I did with my paper, though, because I had to take it away from my cat. Is that not crazy? But that's what happens. Sometimes you just got to do that. So I am going to find the piece that I had, get my card stuff, and bring over. Right here we have all of our card makings with the piece I punched out of. So right there it is. And I need to get another piece of window sheet because we're going to be using a window sheet. Let me cut this off. We don't need that on there. There we go. So what we're going to do first is I'm going to bring in and I'm going to do the layout of the card, and then we will put all the pieces together, okay? So let's just set these to the side, bring our card base in. Our card base is 5 1/4. I'm going to make sure that that's what this one is. I mean 5 1/2, and it is. By 8 1/2, scored at 4 1/4, and folded. It's your standard size card. And then what's going to go on the front of that is I took a piece of 5 1/4 by 4 basic black, and I used the exposed brick embossing folder. This one, you could use any, because all I wanted was a little texture around the sides of my DSP that's going on here. So it just gives a little texture around that. So I'm going to glue those two pieces together. We'll get that glued. And then I'm going to go ahead and just glue this onto the card. So let's glue this down. And I'm going to go ahead and glue the inside. What I have for the inside is a piece of 5 1/4 by 4 black, 5 by 3 3/4 white with a piece of DSP that is like 3/4 inch by 3 3/4. So I'm going to glue that down first. I'm going to put the little candy side up. I think the candy side is cute. So we're going to put that up. We'll add, whoops. Well, we will add that to the back, or add adhesive to the back and put that on the piece of black and add it to the inside, and that'll all be out of our way. We won't need to worry about it. So let's go ahead and put that down and put it inside. Then we'll have that much done. And then all we got to do is build our little front, and that's all done with die cuts. Now you can take this same layout, use different die cuts, and make the same style of card and not be Halloween. And what I'm saying about that is you could take and put maybe flowers or a design around here. Go ahead and use the jar punch, put a little bit of flowers in there, and then put a saying with like a happy birthday or get well or whatever down there. So you could use the same layout for that. I have all my die cuts cut, so let's get out our, there's our spider webs, and I want to get out the little banners. Here's the one banner, and then we got the other. Oh, I want to go ahead and put one of the spiders on the inside. I forgot. I had a little spider inside, and he's just down here crawling out from underneath the DSP. There he is. Okay, and then you just kind of decide how you want your spider webs. And what I do is I take and I glue down my center one first, and then I add the rest. So I'm going to take my center, and I'm going to add glue. Now you could take and use the adhesive sheets, which I meant to do, and then you could make stickers out of these and then just peel it off and glue it down, which makes a lot more sense. But with this little precision glue gun, I can put the tiniest of dots on here, and it's okay. So I'm going to take that and just kind of put it in this central area and lay that down and just kind of put my finger on it and press so that stays down. If it comes up, we can always press it back down because the glue will hold it because it's tacky. So I'm going to add some to the outside. You want it to hold down. And then I'll put this one right here. Just kind of lining up my edges. There again, I'm going to just press my hands down on that to kind of stick it. And then I'm going to do the last one. These are easy to do. They look a little intimidating because they're skinny, but they go on pretty good. You know, I've never been a big Halloween card maker until this year, and I don't know what's gotten into me, and I don't even know what I'm going to do with these handful of cards, but I have a lot of them, so a lot of people's going to be getting some Halloween cards. I'm going to make one into a birthday card for my grandson because he likes little icky, scary stuff. So I am going to take the words eek, and I did black, and I did peach pie, and I'm going to offset them and glue them together. So let's go ahead and get that done. And here again, you don't have to add a lot of glue. Just get your main points to where they will stick a little bit. And offset that. I try to line the E up and then just go from there and get the rest of it lined up. And it usually works. We're going to lay that right here for a second because we're going to actually stamp on it. I'm going to take these two pieces and I'm going to glue them together. And I'm going to not put glue all the way to the edge. Because I just want this to be glued underneath, and I'm going to match up the ends on one end and have the other end stick out like that. And then I will glue the bottom part, and I'm not going to glue that. I'm going to let that be up a little bit, and it's going to be right here. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take Wink of Stella, and I'm just going to put this on my spider web, and you know how spider webs glisten in the with the dew on them in the mornings when the sun hits them. I love that. I just don't want spiders in my house, but I like to watch them in their web. I think it's pretty fascinating. My son used to raise spiders, big spiders. He was crazy. But they were fun to watch. I learned a lot about them and watched them molt, and pretty interesting. But they weren't in my house. He didn't live in my house no more. He was out on his own when he did that. Thank goodness, because I'd had to put my foot down. No spiders in the house. Don't like them. So I'm just adding this to all of, just so it'll glisten in the sunlight. And there we go. We have a nice little glistening spider web. So we have that done. Now let's make our jar. We're going to bring our jar in. And here's our jar punch. And I used it out of the Jar of Joy. We're going to use this, and we're going to use this little dotted stamp right here. So first let's stamp our jar. I just got black down my shirt. Lordy be. Lordy, lordy be. So there we have that stamped, and I'm going to take this little stamp right here and bring in my scrap for a minute, lay my eek down on it, and I'm just going to take this and I'm going to add dots. It just gives some character to the eek part, if that's the case. So there we go. We have dots. It's got glue on the back of it. It's gluing my fingers. Okay, let's put this on so I don't drop it again, because I got ink on my shirt. It'll come out. I'll get it out. Okay, now we're going to bring in the jar punch, and we're going to punch out this. Whoops, got to put it in this way. We're going to punch out the jar. That doesn't look quite even. I never can get them all the way even. It's not in my wheelhouse, I don't think. Need another little piece of black. So let's find a piece of black we can use. I love having scrap. And what I'm going to do with that is I'm just going to put that in the top part of the punch and punch me a lid. Like so. And then I can take and keep my scrap and use it again. That's what I do with these. I'm very frugal sometimes on my scraps. And I have plenty. So let me get a piece of window sheet. I had a piece out, but it got kind of nasty. It's so easy to get glue on them, and I'm trying not to do that. So here's my window sheet. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the punch, and I'm just going to put a piece in there and punch it. And there we have our window sheet. Can you see that? It's hard to see because it's clear. I'll lay it right over there out of the way. Now my extra piece doesn't want to come out of here. I hate when that happens because then I have to cut it. There we go. And it flipped out right here. So it's all out of the punch. That's all I'm worried about. Don't want it clogging my punch up. That's not good. Not good whatsoever. Alrighty, so now what we're going to do is we're going to add our spiders to we're going to add 3 spiders to the inside of our jar. And I stamped the jar on DSP because I wanted a little bit of color in it, but I wanted to also be able to see like the spiders in it or whatever you do. You don't want your DSP, if you're going to put something in it, to overpower what you're putting in there. You might have hand to lay that one down. I never put them all in here the same way. Whoops, as I knock them over. Don't knock the spiders over. I want him to go that way. He wants to crawl out that way. And then I'm going to put this one. This one's going to be crawling out of the jar. So I just put him, pick him up and put him coming out. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a glue dot, and on my window sheet jar, I'm going to put a glue dot right in the corner of that. And I'm going to pick up my jar, line that up, the jar up on that side, and put that on. And now they look like they're under glass. I'm going to take my punch, and I'm going to put a glue dot on the left hand side and it is going to go over the previous glue dot. Make sure that that's stuck in there. It'll go over this previous glue dot at an angle so that the jar looks open. Okay, so that's how we get that part. And now I'm going to put some dimensionals on that to kind of hold it up and give it a little bit of dimension over the web. I love this card. I think the card is really, really cute. I think because I like the little spider webs. I don't really like the spiders. They can stay away. How about you guys? Want them to stay away? So let's put this on. I put it just at an angle to give it a little bit more character. And then I've got 2 more spiders here. Should be 2, yep. I cut the right amount, yay. So I'm going to take these 2. I'm going to get this glob of glue that has resonated on the end of my glue gun. That happens sometimes. So let's put a little bit of glue on the back of him. And then I'm just going to add him to the front of the card like he's already crawled out of the jar. We got spiders getting away. They don't want to stay in the jar today. So there they are. Now let's put our eek onto our card base. And what I do with that, did I lay them back in here? Yeah, right here. I take the little glue dots because they have such a wide edge around them. And I cut me a piece. And just make it like a strip. And I'll cut that off. Get that cut off. And I'm going to cut it in two, and I'm going to add it to the back of this eek on the black. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of the adhesive off, lay it down. I'm going to do that to the next piece, because when you cut the edges, the both sides, the adhesive strip covering stays on there. So I just put that down each of the, whoops, needed to be up a little bit. So I just put that down to where it'll hold up in two areas. You don't need a whole lot. And then I'm just going to put that on my card like so. And that's basically our card is done. There's room to write. Oh, I want to put a Happy Halloween in there. But you know what? I'm going to leave the Happy Halloween off of there, because I think I am going to send this one as a birthday card to my grandson. Because he likes spooky things. He likes all this stuff. He likes Halloween. He likes to decorate and all that stuff, but he doesn't actually go out and get candy. He likes to stay home and hand out candy. So he's going to be 11 next week. So I'm going to do that for his birthday card. I think he'll enjoy that. So anyway, I hope you liked my card. Remember, I'll be back on Saturday this week. I was not here last week. We had an emergency with my husband. He went into the hospital on Friday. He couldn't breathe and was in terrible pain. He had a blood clot in his lung. And luckily he had pain with it, so that was a good sign. And they were able to start it dissolving in that. So he's going to be on blood thinners for a while, and he's on antibiotics. He had an infection and all that, so they're taking care of all that. But we were really lucky. We were scared this weekend, and that happened on Friday morning, and I just didn't want to mess with doing a video. That was the furthest thing from my mind. So anyway, I will be back this week, because hopefully everything will be normal. And then next week on Friday, on the 5th, which is my grandson's birthday, I will be leaving to go to the beach with a couple of my friends, as long as everything's still going okay with my husband. He really isn't wanting me to go. He doesn't want me to change all that, so that's what we'll probably do. So anyway, I will talk to you guys later. Be creative, have fun, enjoy your week. And if you live around where we live right now, enjoy this cool weather that is so unlike us for the end of August and beginning of September. But enjoy it and have a good time, and I will see you all later. Bye.